Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a mid-year tag. So basically, I'm sure you guys have seen them before. I'm just going to be giving some sort of prompt like, oh, my favorite book of the year, and then relating a book to that prompt. It's pretty simple. I'm going to try not to repeat books. I'm going to try to only do one book per prompt, except there are a few questions where I do multiple books, and I think there's only one question where I repeat. I think. Maybe I don't even repeat. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out as the video goes on, but I tried not to do that because I feel like that it can kind of get boring if I'm just constantly like this book, this book, this book, this book for like all the prompts. So I tried to make it a little bit, you know, of a mix, but I'm sure some of these won't be very surprising to you if you watch my other videos. But yeah, let's just get into the video. Okay, so before we get into the video and doing the different prompts in the books, I did want to show you the books that I got in my book box this month. Like I said, if you watched my last video, my book haul, I was expecting my book box, but I hadn't got it yet, so I'm going to show you the two books that I got this month. The first book I got was Meet Me in the Blue by A.M. Johnson. It is an MM romance, and from the back, obviously I haven't read it yet, so I don't know 100% what it's about, but what it seems like according to the back is there's a guy who has to come back to his hometown where there might be some like unfinished business between him and some people because his dad is sick, and specifically one of the people is his ex-best friend, or maybe not ex, I don't know, his best friend, which obviously will become the love interest in the book. But it seems like it's gonna be like sad, not like the whole book, but I feel like it's definitely gonna have more of like an emotional tie to it than just like I feel like a lot of MM romances are like sports romances or like teen boys, like heartstoppery type thing where it's like they're figuring out their sexuality. I feel like this one will be more of like, you know, having an emotional connection. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to have the cover get all hard to see because of the sunlight. But I don't know, I feel like it'll be more like emotion jerking, and I feel like that could be very different, which I feel like means I could like it more than other MMs. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of times I read like heterosexual couples and their books can range from sports romances to like the most, you know, I'm sobbing my eyes out for this couple, I love them so much. And I feel like a lot of times with MMs you don't get that, and I wish that you did because I feel like it shouldn't matter what the couple is. But this one seems like maybe it will be, so I'm kind of excited for it. I don't know. I'll have to read it and let you guys know. But this comes in my romance reveal book box. That's the book box I have, and all the books come signed, which is really cool. Again, not sponsored, but I just really enjoy them. They always give me like really good quality books, like nothing ever comes damaged, and I mean, from the books I've read from them so far, I've enjoyed them. I mean, none of them have been like, oh my god, this is the best book I've ever read in my entire life, but like they're not like, oh my god, this is the worst book I've ever read either. So I don't know, I feel like it's a good mix. It just introduces you to new authors and different authors, and so I think that's just a nice thing about it. The second book is actually worse than the first book cover wise. Can we just put a shirt on a man for a cover? Is it really that hard? Or could we just not put men on the cover? Like, I get what I'm reading, I know what I'm reading, but everybody else doesn't need to know what I'm reading. I've said it before and I'll just keep saying it, like, ugh. Okay, but it's called Taste of Hell. I don't know how I feel about this. I read the back and I'm still kind of confused on what the book's even really about. I want to say it's an enemies to lovers just based off of like the color scheme and the title, but I really don't know. But I'm a little nervous. I won't lie, to read it, but we'll see. Also comes signed. There are 4 books in this series, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so there's 4 books that are out and then a novella that goes between the 3rd and the 4th, but it looks like there's going to be 2 more books next year. So who knows, maybe I'll like love this series and it'll be great and exciting. But that's the second book that I got in my book box, and I also got some like other things. Like when you buy more than one book and you're in this type of book box, you get like other things, like sometimes you get candy, and I've gotten a necklace once before. Like you just get a bunch of random stuff, so I got some of that, but I'm not gonna share that because that's not as exciting as the books. But those were the books that I got in my book box, and so that was my little intermission between my intro and my main video, so hopefully that didn't take too long. Let's just get into the video. The first prompt that we have for this video is the best book that I have read in 2023, which I'm sure nobody is going to be surprised if you have watched. I think it was my June reading wrap up. If you watched that, nobody will be surprised on this video. But it is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I won't spend a lot of time talking about it because I feel like I spent a lot of time talking about it in my June reading wrap up, but I loved this book. Really what drew me to it the first time was dragons. I love dragons, like it's just simple as that, I do. And so I really wanted to read the book, and I wanted the special sprayed edges because, again, love dragons. And it was just so good. Like I said in my reading wrap up, it gives me like Divergent vibes. Like I know a lot of people are saying like it's a fantasy, but I really feel like it's dystopian as well in that type of aspect, where obviously like there's magic and stuff going on because there's dragons and things like that, but I really feel like there's the dystopian aspect because it's like they're at this college and there are all these trials and like all these things. I don't know, it just gave me a Divergent vibe without it being like a carbon copy of Divergent, and I love Divergent, so that really was fun to read. The main guy character, love him. I didn't put this prompt in because it would have been this book again, but like best fictional boyfriend, favorite fictional boyfriend of the year, whatever you want to call it, would be him. Xaden is amazing. I actually went into this and didn't know who love interest was, which I felt was very interesting because of course like pretty quickly I figured it out, but it was interesting reading it and being like, oh, who's this? Oh, okay, I see. But yes, love this book, would 110% recommend it. I know it's hard to find right now, but I would say either pre-order it so that when it does come back in stock you can get it, or literally just like look everywhere possible. I know it's so hyped and some people are like, is it really worth the hype? It really is. Like I loved it. I will not shut up about it ever. It's just so good, and I want so badly to get an arc of the second book, but that probably won't happen because I'm a very small YouTuber. But if by chance there is a publishing company that is watching this, I think it's Red Towers. I think it's like Red Towers Publishing, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but if they're watching this and you want to send me an arc of Iron Flame, that'd be great. But yes, this was my favorite book of 2023. I love it. Please read it. Okay, moving on to the next prompt. My next prompt is kind of similar, but it's, instead of being my favorite book of 2023, it's like my new favorite author of 2023, which yes, Rebecca Yarros would be in a sense that, but I did want to pick someone different. So another book that I could have put in that last prompt was, you can see them over here, Binding and Keeping 13. I loved those books. So for me, my new favorite author I decided to go with was Chloe Walsh. This is Saving Six, but I literally like, I don't know. It's such a pretty cover. I know some people don't like them. I actually like these covers. I might be in the like minority there, but I really liked these covers. And I don't know, Binding and Keeping 13 are the only ones I've actually read so far. But I loved them. Like literally both were 5 stars. I was expecting the second one to be 5 stars, but I wasn't sure about the first one because I felt like it's the first one, it's so long. I'm like, it might just, I'm so sorry, it just might not like give as much, but it did. It was so good. I literally loved it. I could not recommend them enough. I will say, if you do want to read them, even though I did read the first 2 in the paperback format, and I probably will read the second 2 in paperback format, I would say read it on your Kindle if you have one, because the font is so small in those books, it's not even funny. Like sometimes I had to stop reading because my eyes hurt because of how small the font was. So that would be the only thing I would say, was I would probably recommend it to read it on your Kindle and then just buy the paperback versions if you like to be that person who like collects them. But yeah, that's why my new favorite author of 2023 is Chloe Walsh. I can't wait for this series to continue to grow next year. I'm so excited for all the other people to get their books. But yeah, that's my new favorite author of 2023. My next prompt is a book in 2023 that surprised me. This one was hard for me to figure out because I feel like a lot of times I don't go into a book thinking I'm gonna hate it and then liking it, or thinking I'm gonna like it and then hate it. So I was trying to figure out what to do for surprised me, but I figured it out and I went with, oh my, this cover loves the sun. Okay. Until Friday Night by Abby Glines. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm not sure. But this is the first book in the Field Party series. I don't know, I just felt like this one was one I was expecting to like, but I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. I thought it was just gonna be like a little high school romance that I was gonna rate, you know, like 4 or 4.5 stars. Like, it wasn't gonna be like nothing super special. This was the first book that I read this year, and I literally loved it. I rated it 4.75 stars. I think I read it in like a day and a half. Couldn't put it down. I loved it. The only reason it wasn't a whole day that I read it was because I had somewhere to go on the day that I read this. Oh, wow, the sun is really not liking this book. So I couldn't finish it in a day, but I would have if I had the time to. But yeah, that's why this one was the most surprising, was just because I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. My next prompt is a book that made me happy. Again, I struggled to figure out what I really meant by happy. I took these prompts from like other people's videos that I saw, like Larry Reed's and Sarah Crowley and stuff like that, and trying to figure out like what prompts would work for the books that I read this year so far. And so that one I was like, happy, I don't know. I again don't want to repeat, because of course I'd put Fourth Wing for this one, and I'd put, you know, the Boys of Tommen series. I was like, I don't know. But then I was like, I know what made me happy. I read Kiss the Sky and Hot House Flower this month, and both of these books I read so quickly, and they both made me so like giddy and happy. Like, I loved the characters, I loved the couples in the books. Kiss the Sky is Rose and Connor's first book, and Hot House Flower is Reich and Daisy's first book. Like I said, just made me super happy and giddy, and I couldn't stop reading them. I don't want to get too much into it because I want to save it for my July reading wrap up, but I loved these two books. These two books made me very, very happy. And so that's why I picked them for this prompt. But my next prompt is books that I'm excited for that are releasing in the second half of 2023. So obviously I don't have any of them yet because they have not released yet, but I will put them on the screen like around me. I think sorry, I wrote them down. I don't know, there's like 5 or 6 of them. I'll go into each one separately and just give like a little like snippet of like why I'm excited for them. Some of them are just like continuing of series that I already have, so like that's why I'm excited. Some of them are just authors that I really like. You know, you'll see when I go into each one. The first book that I am super excited for the second half of the year is obviously Iron Flame, which is the second book to Fourth Wing. I think the series is called the Empyrean series, so it would be the second book in that series. Again, like I said earlier, I just can't shut up about Fourth Wing, and the ending, I need the second one now. Like, I just can't wait, I need it now. But I'm really excited for that one. It comes out, I think, November 7th, and that's very close to my birthday, so I pre-ordered it for myself as a little birthday gift. I probably won't be able to read it though, unfortunately, until Christmas time because of me being in college and when I come home, and I do not want to bring those books with me to college because I don't want anything happening to them. I want them to stay safe in my room on my bookshelves. But as soon as I have the possibility to read it, I will read it. I'm just so excited for it. The next book that I'm really excited for in the second half of 2023 is the 5th volume of Heartstopper. I have over here on the shelf, you can't see them actually, now that I'm realizing this, I'm pointing and you can't even see. But I have on this shelf all of my Heartstopper books and all of my Alice Othman books. So there is 4 volumes so far, and I have read all of them. I love them. They're pretty quick and easy just because they're graphic novels. But yeah, I don't know, I just love them. I'm excited for them. I'm excited for the second season of Heartstopper to come out in August. It's very just that simple. It's just the next book in a series, and I love the series, so I'm excited for it. The next book is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. This is the start of a new series for her. She has the Dirty Air series and the Dreamland Billionaire series out so far. I have all of those. I love her writing. I love her. She's so adorable. And so I literally buy everything that she publishes. Like, she could publish a grocery list and I'll buy it. So I pre-ordered that. I'm really excited for that. Is it October that it comes out in? I'm not sure, but it comes out in like the fall. So I'm really excited for that book. Another book that I also am really excited for, I haven't pre-ordered yet though, and I'll explain why, is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. It's the second book, and I don't know what the series is called anymore because when I got the first book, which is Icebreaker, I have the book that has the pink spine and it has a number 1 on it. And it says like, it's like the school abbreviation name series. So that's what I thought the series was called. But now I think it's actually called the the Maple Hills series. And now the spine is like white and has like an ice skate on it. So I'm thinking Wildfire isn't going to match my spine, but maybe it will. So I'm not sure. I haven't pre-ordered it yet because if it, oh my god, I'm so sorry. My like body is shutting down over here. I'm having hiccups and I don't know what's going on. Anyways, I want to see if the spines match. If they don't, which they're probably not, which is gonna suck, then I'm going to buy Icebreaker again, because yes, I am this person. I need the spines to match. So I'll buy Icebreaker again and then Wildfire so that they can match. I'll still keep my old Icebreaker, but I'll need a new one. I know, I'm crazy. I understand. But I'm sure some of you also understand what I'm talking about. And I just like things to match. So that's why I haven't pre-ordered that one yet, but I'm sure very quickly once it comes out, I will be at Barnes & Noble buying it. So it'll pretty much be like I pre-ordered it. Okay, so my final prompt is books that I have like physical TBR already that I want to read before the end of the year. Now, pretty much I could just say every single book on all 3 of my bookshelves that have not been read. I mean, just straight up honest, that is my goal, is to eventually read all of my books. Obviously, that might take a while, and that might also mean that I never buy books again for like a whole year to actually get through all of them. And maybe that'd be a fun challenge to do. I don't know, that also might be excruciating for me, but we don't have to talk about that right now. That can be a later thought. But I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think 7 books that I really would like to finish by the end of this year. If not, obviously it's not the end of the world, but you know, that's my goal. So the first book that I have is Thrive by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the next book that I have in the Addicted Callaway Sister series. And then I also want to read Addicted After All by Krista and Becca. Yep, same author. Just not even gonna try because apparently I can't speak. So this is the 4th and 5th book in the Addicted series. And they're just happen to be the next 2 books that I have in the Addicted Callaway Sister series. So I picked these 2 because I feel like saying I want to finish the whole series by the end of this year when I am not bringing any of the books with me to college is a little unrealistic, if we're being totally honest. I don't want to bring them with me to college. I've explained before in previous videos. I just don't want anything to happen to them because I have the original, like, you know, sizing and everything, and they're really hard to find, and so I just don't want anything to happen to them, so they're staying here. But I probably could read both of those in December. So that's why I put 2 on there. I would love to finish the whole series by the end of the year, but I feel like, again, that's unrealistic. So I've just made the goal to finish the Addicted part of the Addicted Callaway Sister series. Okay, so the next books that I have for the books that I want to read before the end of 2023 is another series that I want to try to finish. Or I guess I shouldn't say finish because it's not the end of the series, but it's all the books that are out so far. And that is the Boys of Tommen series. So I really want to try to read Saving 6 before the end of the year. Obviously, if I could also get to Redeeming 6, that would be great. But if you see the size of these books, and again, they're not coming with me to college, so unless I buy them on Kindle, because I don't think they're on Kindle Unlimited, which is really annoying. Really annoying. But if they ever come on Kindle Unlimited, or if I decide to buy them on there, then maybe I'll finish both. But for sure, like I said, trying to finish this one before the end of 2023, because again, it's like I either finish it July, a little bit of August I'll have to finish it, or December, really. So December's probably gonna be me like cramming every book I possibly can in. Because I feel like I'm gonna come home and be like, okay, what books can I read that I can't read while I'm in college? Similar with the Addicted series, like I could buy those on Kindle too. I just feel like it's a waste of money to buy a book that's not Kindle Unlimited that I already have a paperback of. The only reason I feel like I would do it with the Boys of Tommen series is because, like I explained earlier, the font is so small. Like, Saving 6, when I look at it, the font actually looks bigger in Saving 6 than in Binding Keeping 13 and then Redeeming 6. Like, girl, look at this font. No. Again, I need glasses to read that at this point. Like, it's so small. But so that would probably be the only time I'd get through both of them if I did that, but we'll see. The next book that I have for, again, this prompt of trying to finish books that I have in my physical TBR before the end of the year is Play With Me by Becca Mack. This is the second book in the Playing for Keeps series. If you watch my book haul, I got Consider Me and Play With Me in that book haul. I read Consider Me in March, so I would love to read Play With Me. I know Unravel Me is the third one, but I don't know when it comes out. Like, I tried to look it up and literally, like, I couldn't find a release date. So I don't even know if there's a release date yet, but I'm super excited for this series to continue, so I want to read the second one because I have heard that the second one's actually better than the first one, and I really liked the first one, so if it gets better, that's great. So this one is actually on Kindle Unlimited though, so I'm very confident that I will finish this by the end of the year. Like, very confident. Like, I might even read it when I go to Hawaii. Like, I'm not even sure. But hockey romance, we love hockey romances. I think it's brother's best friend or teammate's sister, however you want to go with it, but I think they all kind of technically are the same thing in this aspect of the book, because I think brother's teammate is brother's best friend. So I don't know, but yeah, just wanting to complete series that, I hate saying that because it's like the series itself isn't complete, but complete of what's out so far is kind of my goal. So next is actually a whole series that I want to finish. Like I was saying earlier with wanting Lauren Asher's new book, Love Redesigned, later this year. I've read the Dirty Air series, but I have actually not read the Dreamland Billionaire series yet. I have all 3 books. I'm just showing you the fine print instead of holding all of them up, but I would love to read these. Again, I'm pretty sure all 3 are on Kindle Unlimited, so it will be much easier for me to read them while I'm in college because I only have such I mean, I say limited as if Kindle Unlimited doesn't have like 100,000 of books, but you know what I mean. I'll be limited to more books that I would be than I can't speak in this video. I will be limited to the books that I can read because I don't have my whole physical TBR with me. That's what I was trying to say. But yes, I would like to finish the Dreamland Billionaire series before Love Redesign comes out, or before I at least have it in my hands. That's obviously a lot to ask because it comes out soon, but this is my goal for sure, is to try to finish this before the end of the year because everyone loves it. And I feel like most people started reading Lauren Asher when this book came out, but I read the Dirty Air series, pretty much finished the whole thing before this came out. I had the last one that I read this year. I don't know why it took me so long to read the last one, but it did. But I loved the Dirty Air series, and that's how I found out about Lauren Asher. So I was just like, I worried that this isn't going to live up to the hype, because I feel like if this is the first series you read by her, like, you're going to be like, oh, this is so great, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so the final book that I have, which technically isn't the final book, the final books that I have are the Windy City series by Liz Tomford. So I only got Mile High just for ease of like taking off my shelf and putting back on. But Mile High and then The Right Move is the second one. I know that there's a third one coming out. I don't know when that one actually comes out though. But I would like to finish at least those 2 books by the end of the year. Again, they're on Kindle Unlimited. So I will probably actually do that. Pretty much, I'm very confident that Mile High, Play With Me, the fine print, terms and conditions, and the final offer will get read by the end of the year. I'm very confident on that, which maybe is me being very cocky. Watch me be at the end of the year this year and not have read any of them. But I feel like the ones that I just don't bring with me that aren't in Kindle Unlimited are the ones that are going to be harder for me to read, purely because I will have very little time to read them before the end of the year. But we'll see. But anyways, that is all the books that I have for today's mid-year tag. Like I said, I will make a video of all the books that I have read in 2023 so far, which I feel like, I don't know, might be like the shortest video, because I feel like I'm just gonna kind of be like, I read this, and then I read this, and then I read this. But I don't know. We'll see how I decide to do it. I also know that I've said it since I started my channel, a bookshelf tour, I know. I think I finally have them the way I want them / can have them. I definitely wish I had more bookshelves because I have ideas of things I want to do, but I also realized that like it's unrealistic with like the size of my bedroom and the way things are set up. So like I said, I think I have it set up the way I would want it to be set up with what I have. So maybe when I get back from Hawaii, I will film it, because I leave in like 2 days for Hawaii. So yeah, I don't know. When you're watching this, I'll be in Hawaii because I'm pre-filming this. So maybe for you, it'll only be a week, but for me, it might be like 2 weeks until I do that. But I don't know. We'll see how I feel. It will definitely happen before I go to college, though. Don't worry. I know that you guys probably don't even care, but I do plan on doing that because I feel like those are really fun to watch, too. Is just seeing like all the books that someone owns and being like, either, wow, I wish I owned all those books, or, ooh, like, that's a new book I never knew, like, add that to my TBR. I do that all the time. I'll watch a video and then, like, I end up having, like, 12 new books on my TBR, and I'm like, great, love that for me. Just continuing to add to that lovely long TBR. But yeah. Okay, so that was my video for today. I hope you enjoyed. Again, you know, like, comment, subscribe, the normal things that you would do with any YouTuber. If you have any video ideas that you would like to see from me before I go to college, comment those down below. I think I might do a college dorm haul, which is kind of like what I got. I'm not sure yet though. That might be like a lot of work for me because it's all kind of packaged up together, so I might decide not to do that, but I might do that. If you want to see that, let me know and then I'll do it. But if I'm not really getting an indication that people want it, I might not do it. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. See you guys next week. Bye.